All right. So welcome everyone. This is our AAC Fireside Chat for October, which is AAC Awareness Month, of course. And I'm thrilled that Lydia, who is a very busy woman, by the way, has provided us some time to share her perspective tonight on the topic of self-advocacy for AAC users, and also just to open some space up for your questions. So I would welcome any of you who are comfortable after Lydia gives us an introduction of who she is and her own journey with self-advocacy. If you have questions, feel free to turn your mic on at that point in time, and you can talk directly with Lydia. She's welcoming that. And then if you prefer to keep your video and mic off and chat the question, I am happy to facilitate questions for Lydia and to verbalize those out loud for her. Just in case you need to leave early, we do record our fireside chats. We offer them for free all the time. You'll never have to pay for these chats. They're available on our YouTube channel and also through our AAC Fireside Chat group on our website. So if you're not a Facebook user and you're looking for a place to connect with people around the topic of AAC, you should check out our Facebook group, our non-Facebook group on our website. And that's where we usually post our recordings of these first. I welcome everyone to keep their cameras on as you feel comfortable, and feel free to turn them off, of course, if you do not. And now I'm going to turn it over to Lydia and let her tell us a little bit about herself and get started with her talk tonight.
My name is Lydia Dawley. I'm from Decatur, Iowa. I am the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Click Speak Connect. I have a condition that is called cerebral palsy. I have had cerebral palsy since birth. In May of 2020, I graduated from the University of Wisconsin in Whitewater with my Bachelor's of Science in Liberal Studies with special interest in communication sciences and disorders. I live on my own in Madison, Wisconsin. My parents struggled with my communication as an infant. I couldn't always point or motion for what I wanted because of my physical limitations, and I would get frustrated easily. It is frustrating when you communicate and people don't understand you. I dealt with this at an early age. When I was around 2 years old, I had a rifty walker, and I would pin my parents up against a wall trying to get them to concentrate on me and how I was sounding out words because I didn't have a device. I had a lot to say at a young age. My parents taught me if I want to be independent in this world, I would have to advocate for myself. So I did what I had to in order to let people know what I was saying. This leads me to a story when I was in kindergarten. My aide that was supposed to help me with my physical needs just didn't get the fact that I had a brain and I liked to use it. Some days, as you all know, you can only take so much. To get her attention and make her listen to me, I kicked her. Well, to make the long story short, kindergarten was the first trip to the principal's office. Lucky for me, the principal appreciated my strength in self-advocacy, and he ended up apologizing to me for my aide's ignorance. In high school, I wanted to participate in high school speech contest. Well, Iowa had never had a student participate in speech competition that had to use an augmentative and alternative communication device. So, after writing letters requesting to be allowed to participate, I became the first Iowa high school student to participate in speech contest using an augmentative and alternative communication device. For educators, therapists, and parents, we need to teach our students that their voice matters. Students need to be in their IEP meetings because they are the experts of themselves. Parents and teachers can't be with them every minute all day. They know what is working and not working. We need to ask the students their opinion or ask what they think because that will show them they can voice their opinions and questions. My parents requested that I attend all my IEP meetings and any meetings that involved my AAC device. My parents felt that I needed to have a say in these things, and I am so lucky they felt that way, so I could help direct my education and my communication. AAC users might have ideas to try because they know it will work. Not going to lie, my team learned early on that I was the lead decision maker for which AAC device I was getting, and I was pretty clear of what I didn't like or what I thought. This might have made them want to pull their hair out because I tell them the access method they chose wouldn't work for me, or the new system they picked wasn't a good fit for me. The reality was only I would be using the device day in and day out. This is why we as educators need to listen to AAC users and let them have a voice in choosing their device. They know what their bodies can or can't do, and it's their voice. We as educators need to show them everything, not just our favorite systems or what systems we think they will be successful at. If there is a device the AAC user really thinks would be cool to have, let them trial it. Then they will know it will meet their needs and they won't resent other choices. Honestly, they might come up with ideas that you would never come up with that makes AAC better for them and easier. I was always on the internet researching things, and in 7th grade I found a device that allowed access by using your eyes. It seemed so much faster, so I printed off the information and gave it to my teacher and told her I need this device. Well, I probably should have told my parents, as they were pretty surprised when they got a call from the school. I wouldn't have been able to create my own stylus and have it be available for people with disabilities to use soon. I created it because since I have cerebral palsy, it is hard to use typical styluses because they are too thin, and I have so much stone that I press down too hard, and I break the rubber ends off. I designed the nab pen so it is thicker to hang onto, and your hand doesn't slide down. I also designed the nab pen that it has a bigger end on it, that it is more secure, and it is easier to press down to select. The nab pen has a wrist strap on it, so the user doesn't have to worry about dropping it and picking it back up. I have been working with an engineer on the progress of getting nab pen manufactured. This is the official prototype that I'm using. I have a lot of people that tell me that I need a mount for my iPad. I always tell them, no thank you. My parents and I rambled a Velcro strap that attaches to both sides of my wheelchair, and it works. I can transfer myself to my wheelchair and out. A mount would limit my ability to do that. And I like to be independent as much as I can. I know that I drove my educators and drive my friends who are therapists crazy because I keep telling them, no. I use my knees to maneuver my iPad to help me reach buttons with less missed hits. That allows me to be more successful in my communication. It's not traditional, but it works best for me. But sometimes I wish people could see my view. I think other people with disabilities feel this way too, because a lot of times we get told what equipment that we need, and it might help us for one thing, but it's not always practical for everything. People with disabilities know their body better than anyone, so why not ask them about what they need first? I had already learned that if I want to do something, I had to advocate for myself. And by doing so, I was advocating for all those that can't speak for themselves. Don't be afraid to speak up when something bothers you or if you think something isn't right. I had teachers that wanted me to just observe their class and not do the work, and I didn't think that was right. I wanted to learn and do the work, so I had to speak up so I could be part of the class. If there is a club or group you want to belong to or be part of, don't be afraid to go for it, and don't worry what anyone else thinks. I wanted to be a cheerleader, so I spoke up and became a cheerleader. Know that you can do anything you want and you deserve to have the life that makes you happy. I would love to answer any questions you may have, or if you would like to see how my app works, I can show you. Thank you for this chance to share my experience with alternative and augmentative communication.
Thank you for sharing your story, Lydia. And you came up with things that I never even thought about related to this topic, which is why it's so important to have your voice and others who are experiencing AAC firsthand to share their stories. I'm going to pause now. I'll keep an eye on the chat. If anyone has a question for Lydia, either one that you posed ahead of time in your registration or something that's just come to mind, feel free to turn on your mic or chat to me, and I would be happy to translate your question to Lydia for you. And I'm going to give some extra uncomfortable pause time, Lydia, because I know we have some AAC users in the group that might need a little more time to compose their message. Yeah. We have one in the chat so far. Did any of your previous SLPs discuss advocacy with you, Lydia? And that question's coming from Dawn, by the way.
Yes. Kind of. But. She worked on SOC, social skills, and how I could use My. Device. N. S. O. C. Sedilla. Social. Skip 1. But. I think that helped me learned if I can communicate how I was feeling and what I want, then I could tell others that something was wrong or we need to change something. Yes, kind of, but she worked on social skills and how I could use my device and social skills, but I think that helped me learn if I can communicate how I was feeling and what I want, then I could tell others that something was wrong or we need to change something.
So it sounds like through maybe something that was more comfortable to her, working on social skills, you made your way to understand how you could apply that to advocating for your own needs when it came to using AAC.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're waiting for other questions, one of the things I really found inspiring and kind of enlightening in what you shared, Lydia, was this idea that you really felt strongly that you needed to be a part of choosing your own equipment. And I wonder if there are families or professionals in the audience tonight that might think, well, I don't know if my communicator could ever make that decision or contribute to that decision. I wonder if you could give your thoughts on that concept of us presuming what that communicator might be able to or not be able to do when it comes to that process.
I hear a lot of parents and speech therapists that, say, there, kid, isn't, who is, me, dot, me, F, me, dot, and, dot, me, and, I, asked, them, how do they know, Anne, dot, do they know, 8K, dash, I, T, it, R, it's, L, like, the, same, never, J, U, S, judge, A, book, from, it's, to, it's, C, O, C, V, E, R, greater than, cover, R, I, G, H, T, right, we don't know, what, anyone, can, do, or, can't, do, until, they, try, dot, try, so, I, tell them just wait and they might surprise you. But we need to show them that there be there the voice M-A-T matters. I hear a lot of parents and speech therapists that say their kid isn't like me, and I ask them, how do they know? It's like the saying, never judge a book from its cover, right? We don't know what anyone can do or can't do until they try. So I tell them, just wait and they might surprise you, but we need to show them that their voice matters.
Thank you for that answer, Lydia. I have one question in the chat, but I wanted to pause to just see. I had seen a video pop on just briefly before my question. I wanted to see if someone had a question they wanted to verbalize for Lydia before I read Lori's question here in the chat. Don't you love those quiet moments, Lydia? When no one's talking and no one's asking questions.
I think LJ.
Yeah, I see him.
J.
Thank you for catching that. You can be my seeing eye friend, Lydia. I don't know if you know this, but my vision is terrible. So thank you for spotting LJ's hand. LJ, you are on. Go for it.
Hi, Lydia. What should parents do if a teacher would not have the student join the AAC and they had asked them to join and they said no?
I believe it's the parents' right to choose and the AAC user to choose who comes to the meeting. So, I would say to go to the SPADUISTF District SPECIA Special Education Department and tell them because they will help you advocate dot advocate IYT they are were always help full in my school. I believe it's the parents' right to choose and the AAC user to choose who comes to the meeting. So I would say to go to the district special education department and tell them because they will help you advocate. They were always helpful in my school.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your question, LJ, and thank you, Lydia, for that thoughtful response. We have Himani who'd like to chime in, and then Lori has a question. I'll read aloud unless Lori wants to turn her mic on. Hi, Himani. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Lydia. Thank you for being an awesome mentor to me.
Hi. Himani. You are So, welcome. I love being your to your K M E N mentor. And seeing the two all of an of the AACcessible the AACcomop accomplishments. You are ACH achieving. I'm so proud of you. Hi, Himani. You are so welcome. I love being your mentor and seeing all of the accomplishments you're achieving. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I want to take a minute here, Lydia, to plug your conference because Himani, you did such a beautiful talk on the Connect With Me conference. And I think that you touched on a lot of the things that Lydia is talking about today with self-advocacy and giving communicators like you the chance to contribute to your learning and to decide what's best for you. So thank you for doing that, Himani. And I hope everyone will go check out Lydia's Click Speak Connect conference, Connect With Me conference that's in recordings now. Lydia, can they access them?
Not yet. I have to post about them. Yet. I have been trying to settle everything down to But I hope tomorrow I will post them on Facebook. Not yet. I have to post about them yet. I have been trying to settle everything down, but I hope tomorrow I will post them on Facebook.
I totally know what you mean. Always behind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lori had a question. Lori, you want me to read it, or do you want to share it?
Sure, I wouldn't mind sharing. Hi, Lydia. I'm here in Seattle. I'm a speech therapist, and actually, I went to school in Iowa, so I was so happy to hear that you're in Iowa. Um, so thank you. It's just been inspiring to hear your story and to get ideas from you, and to watch you communicate with your device. And what I'd like to ask today is if you could tell us a little bit about how you feel about your journey with using symbols, versus maybe predictive typing, and how you feel about symbol systems. I'd love to learn from you.
When I first started I didn't want to use W, sharp S, Y, M, B symbols because I thought that people would thought I couldn't read. So I liked to use the keyboard dot keep S I got I N T R introduced to lamb. Words for life. When I was in tenth grade, and I realized that I can too. COMPO, compose my ME, message, we faster. So I got over my SEL, self, CONFUS, conscious A. My big head and used SUYMB, symbols, to be faster. When I first started, I didn't want to use symbols because I thought that people would thought I couldn't read, so I liked to use the keyboard. I got introduced to Words for Life when I was in 10th grade, and I realized that I can compose my message faster, so I got over my big head and used symbols to be faster.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very interesting.
So it sounds, Lydia, like you're still using LAMP Words for Life.
Yeah.
And it's faster than trying to do all predictive text for you, even though we all know that you can read and write just as fine as any of us.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We had a question in the chat as well from another Lydia. Let me see here. It says, can you talk more about your experience and how you found what things worked best for accessing your device? And then Sabrina has her hand up after that question, and we'll get to her.
It was B A S, basically, carrot. T E R I, trial. And E R, error. For the most of it. L dot it. But the best advice I have is do not limit it. It was basically trial and error for the most of it. But the best advice I have is do not limit anyone. Different situations sometimes require different types of communication access. Also, never give up on an idea. Just because it doesn't work today doesn't mean it won't work tomorrow or in 10 years. Remember how I said I had to use a pointer attached to a hand splint when I was younger? Well, did you notice how I can hold on to a stylus now? I developed more strength and control, so now I can actually use the access method I tried and struggled with before. Keep reintroducing things because you never know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Sabrina, your turn. Nice to see you, friend.
Do you have a message in your device like I do when you meet new people? I self-advocate all the time. What do you do when people stand over you and read your screen?
That's R is amazing. Amazing. Dot. And yes, I have a button for people who don't wait for me to type and it says, hold on, that is amazing. And yes, I have a button for people who don't wait for me to type, and it says, hold on, I have something to say.
Bree, do you have a follow-up question?
I use an augmentative alternative communication, AAC device to talk. Please allow me to have extra time to process any questions that you ask. It takes me twice as long to process what I have to say.
It sounds like that's the phrase you use to help people give you the time you need before you start talking. And then Lydia's got one to interrupt them, Lydia, when they start reading over your shoulder. Maybe, Bree, you could try that one. Hold on. I'm still talking here. I've got another message here in the chat. Okay, Bree, you played your message. Anything else you'd like to say before I open it up to another question? And Lydia, of course, you can follow up as you need to as well.
Might have we to STEA steal that one. I love yours too and might have to steal that one.
I'm going to read a question from our registration, if that's okay, Lydia.
Yeah.
Okay, let me open it up here. So many of you sent your questions ahead of time, and it's so appreciated, except I didn't get them to Lydia in a reasonable amount of time. And she was traveling today to see her parents. So that's on me, but I'm going to open them anyway and see if we can read a couple and have Lydia's wisdom shine a little bit on them. Anybody who knows me knows I don't see well, so it always takes me a little bit longer to open things here, so bear with me. All right. What do you think are some of the obstacles that AAC users need to overcome in order to participate actively in society? Wow, that's a big question, Lydia. Yeah, do we have an hour, right? That comes from Victoria.
There is so much CHZAL challenges with AAC, and there is TEWICE twice AMOU amount of CHALL challenges that are not don't have to do with AAC, like now, since I moved three hours away from my also parents I need to find my own care, giving AFF staff and let me tell you it's another job within itself So, there is a many CHAL challenges for not only disability. AAC users but people with disabilities are to be independent and it's EXTR extremely stressful and WEX6 exhausting, but the outcome is WOR worth it. There is so much challenges with AAC, and there is twice the amount of challenges that don't have to do with AAC. Like now, since I moved 3 hours away from my parents, I need to find my own caregiving staff, and let me tell you, it's another job within itself. So there are so many challenges for not only AAC users, but people with disabilities to be independent, and it's extremely stressful and exhausting, but the outcome is worth it.
I'm hearing, Lydia, you say just persevere through these challenges. And it's, yeah. Sabrina, I see your hand up. Do you have another question? Okay, go for it.
I have the same problem as you. We can't find nobody to come and work too. I agree with you. Nobody wants to work. What device do you use? I use the I-110.
Sabrina, you have a Tobii Dynavox, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I use an iPad with lamb, words for life, on, it, that's cool. I use an iPad with lamp, words for life on it.
Sabrina, do you have a follow-up question or comment, or should I ask one from our spreadsheet?
That's cool. I use an iPad with lamp, words for life on.
How difficult is it with finding an A for you?
Was that an aid, Sabrina? Mm-hmm.
Now, it's, hard, with, to, with, C, O, V, COVID, and, when I was in college, I could post on my class face book group and T get college student students, but now I don't have that, so I have to think. C Sedilla, R E-A. Creatively. About. How I can get people. Now it's hard with COVID, and when I was in college, I could post on my class Facebook group and get college students, but now I don't have that, so I have to think creatively about how I can get people.
I'm not sure if Lydia's connection cut out for anybody else, but I think I'll recap, Lydia, what I heard, which is when you were in college, it was easier to connect with people on the board.
And when I was in college, I could post on my class Facebook group and get college students, but now I don't have that, so I have to think creatively about how I can get people.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's when we lose those networks, right? Like Sabrina, you understand that, right? You leave college or you leave high school, and then all of a sudden those networks you had are not there anymore, and you have to really work harder to connect for things. It looks like Sabrina has a follow-up comment or question, and then I think we'll have time for one more.
Posted a job offering. Just last week, we got 2 students. One came on a student visa, and it only allows her to work certain places. The second student never called. I get you. Do you have any ideas on what steps we should take next?
I post it on LIH and tilde link and JOB job SITES sites and got people through that way. I posted on LinkedIn job sites and got people through that way.
Did you say LinkedIn, Lydia?
Yeah.
And other job sites?
Yeah.
Yeah, and got people that way.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I imagine having, the right kind of care, the support that you need is another step toward independence and advocacy for each of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had one question that kind of remained a trend in the registration, and I wonder if we have time to answer it before we say goodbye this evening. And then LJ's mom, Jen, also had a really cool idea in the chat that I thought I'd share. But the idea that came across a lot in the spreadsheet was, where do you start with helping young communicators start developing these skills of self-advocacy? I think you have a fiery personality, Lydia, so maybe it comes a little more naturally to you. But what would you recommend for others who are working with less fiery communicators to build them, a nice foundation for success?
I think it's clear and S-I-M simple. Dot simple. We need to listen to them and not think. We need to do something in therapy, like I wanted to just have a CONV conversation with in speech therapy, because all day I had to work on school, work, and had a v I having that time to talk LIBERAT liberated me because I felt like I was being heard. So, if your student is shy, don't think they won't be able to get there where they can DSELF self AD advocacy advocate dot just talk to them and make them feels like they are heard. I think it's clear and simple. We need to listen to them and not think we need to do something in therapy like I wanted to just have a conversation in speech therapy because all day I had to work on schoolwork and having the time to talk liberated me because I felt like I was being heard. So if your student is shy, don't think they won't be able to get there where they can self-advocate. Just talk to them and make them feel like they are heard.
So it sounds like just that act of feeling heard and having your feelings heard and validated in sessions was one step in the direction of advocacy for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I feel like for all of us, confidence is a big piece of self-advocacy, right? Like feeling like when we speak, someone's going to listen to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lydia, I'm so thrilled that you shared your time with us and took such time to answer our questions about this topic. A lot of things were popping up in the chat. One of them is Sabrina really wants to know how old you are, so maybe you could send her a private message on that. Or if you're feeling really youthful and exuberant, you can share it here live with everybody in the room. I know I don't want to tell anybody how old I am.
2, 5,
Yeah.
25.
I'm 24.
Look at this. Kindred spirits here.
Yeah.
We also had a topic come up, Lydia and Mike and Sabrina and any other AAC users that we might have joining us tonight live or on demand. One of our participants mentioned how valuable it would be for us to have a resource for families and for communicators that included language around advocating around the IEP, including
Yes.
goals around communication and things to help parents know what they should be asking for. So if anybody's interested in that, if you would like to reach out to myself or
Yes.
Jen, who's in the room here via email, we would love to put that sort of resource together, get it started. I feel like you really sparked a conversation tonight, Lydia, about how important it is to get a perspective of an AAC communicator when it comes to setting appropriate goals that are meaningful not only for academic success but for these skills that we're talking about tonight. And I hear Sabrina resounding in her yes.
Yes, I'm interested.
Okay, so Sabrina's interested. I see Lydia is composing a message as well.
Yes. Because I gone so mad through at my to W E D educators and P parents because they had goals for me. But they had no idea was, like, to use, an, device, dot, device, and that has me thinking I always wanted to have, like, a, classes, class, for, kid, kids, how, they can, A, D, V, advocate, sorry, it, gaunt, so out of, lamb, and cleared, but, I want to find a way to have a class where AAC, you, users, can teach younger AAC users, G, H, how to, A, D, V, O, advocate, 4 T H E M E. In there. Themselves. But I don't know how. It could be started. Sorry it got out of lamp and cleared, but I want to find a way to have a class where AAC users can teach younger AAC users how to advocate for themselves, but I don't know how it could be started.
Oh, I bet this room has some ideas. Yeah. So Lydia, I was typing too in the chat, and I encourage anyone who didn't get their questions answered or who wants to just learn more about the self-advocacy and mentoring that you're doing in the field of AAC to go to your Click Speak Connect website or your Facebook or your Instagram or all the other beautiful channels that you travel on. And I really, once again, want to thank you so much for your time. I've kept you much longer than I thought I would. It's 5:44 my time now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sign off. Sabrina, I encourage you to reach out to Lydia. She's super generous with her time if you have more questions or comments. And I thank everybody for coming tonight. Lydia's also got more wisdom to share with us on our podcast, which is free, of course. And she's going to talk about mentoring on that podcast. And the episode is live on our website now. And I encourage anyone who uses AAC and wants to be a mentor or be mentored by somebody who uses AAC to take a listen to Lydia's podcast and get your brain working on that topic. Thanks, Lydia. Any parting words for us?
Thank you, Tana. Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks so much, Jen. So wonderful to see everybody.
Thank you for having me. We always have some excellent VCON conversations. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. We always have some excellent conversations.
Indeed, we do, Lydia. And I hope you get some rest. If anybody wants to tune into the recording, we'll have it up on our website for free. And Lydia hopefully will take a Caribbean vacation soon from all of her hard work. And I look forward to seeing everybody at a fireside chat soon. Thanks, Lydia. Bye.